Hello, my name is Jessica Sherman, and my TED Talk is about the controversy of whether or not the world was created. The creation of the world was developed by science or created by God. My my personal theories are biased, but I feel that many people have not been educated in the idea that God created the world. We're only taught in school that the world was created by science and evolved by science. And so, to start off, evolution is just a theory that scientists build a belief around. So, scientists come up with a theory that they believe on how science was created, and they build a belief of what they believe around the whole theory, and they release it to the world, and that's how science is made. And but also on the other side, creation cannot be proven or disproven. Creation, all the signs of creation is proven to be true, but they have no proof to it, so they can't prove that it's right, but they can't prove it's wrong because all the things that they say in the Bible are true. Um, the definition of evolution is change in gene pool over time. But evolution is not a process, it's how a population adapts to their surroundings. So, how a population and all the animals and organisms living in the population and how they adapt to the environment. Organisms and animals and all the plant life and everything in the population evolve from one another. So, one plant evolves from the other, and that's how they become one. The four mechanisms of evolution are natural selection. The four parts of natural selection are overpopulation, so a population that has too many animals that needs to be leveled off. So there's different variations in that population, and so few are selected to live. So the few that can through this environment um, are selected to live, and so those selected to live or reproduce. There's also mutation, which is the change in DNA molecules, genetic drift, which is a change in gene pool due to chance, and recombination, the recombination of genes, and then the gene flow, which is the loss or gain of allies in a population due to immigration or emigration of the individuals. And natural selection is the basis of all evolution. So depending on where they lived, all of evolution shows natural selection, is it? And so that's how each organism evolves from one another. And so to start off, this is just an example of evolution, so human evolution. So one monkey evolved into the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and that's how humans became how they are, dating all the way back to the monkeys. Life first started in the sea, and for most of the beginning of history, where it was all that life had, but the three main common descendants of all living creatures in the world are from three bacteria called the prokaryotes. So these things, the Achrabacteria and the eukaryotes bacteria, and all of these three bacteria have RNA, which is genetic material in a group of nucleic acids, and it's a major essential to living, and we humans have RNA with us today. And this is this chart to show the three bacteria evolving from each other. So just a tree of life thing, how one bacteria evolved into another, and how that evolved into plants and animals and such. These bacteria have been found dating back to 900 million years ago. And this process, obviously to get from bacteria to human, or bacteria to plant, or bacteria to animals, has taken a very long time. And so the plants, the Cambrian explosion right here is an explosion 530 years ago of biological diversity. So this is just when biology in an environment, the animals grew and spread really, really. The next part of science is called creationism, and creationism is the belief that God created the world and he put all living things in the world. And it is shown in the Bible, the Holy Bible, in the first book of Genesis, and the story of creation. And it says, in the beginning, God created the universe. The universe was desolate and formless, so this is the beginning. And it was formed with total darkness. And God commanded, "Let there be light," and light appeared. He said that the land will appear. So there formed land, and in between there was water. And he also said, "Let there be plants of green and life and vegetable and fruits." And that was the end of the third day. And on the fourth day, he commanded, "Let the light appear in the sky to separate day from night and show the time within the days, years, and religious festivals, and they shine in the sky and give light to earth." So he created the time from the sky, and he created the day from the night, so sun versus the moon, so the moon shone over. And then he also created the stars of the universe on the fourth day. On the fifth day, he commanded, "Let the water be filled with many kinds of living beings, and let the air be filled with birds." So he created sea monsters and all kinds of creatures living in the water and in the air. And then on the sixth day, he commanded, "Let the earth produce all kinds of animal life, domestic and wild, large and small," and it was done. So God made it all, and he was pleased with what he saw. And then he created human beings. They will be like us, resemble us, and will have power over the fish, over the birds, and over the animals, domestic and wild, large and small. So God created human beings, making them like himself. After God created the world, when he made human beings, he made the original two human beings, Adam and Eve. And when Adam and Eve had children, they had children, and so on and so on. And the population was growing, but the people were becoming wicked because they started showing the devil inside them, and they started choosing partners based on looks rather than love and what God had created human beings for in the first place. So God became very angry, and the only man that he saw was worthy of living was a man called Noah. And so he commanded Noah to build an ark. The ark was going to be 450 feet long and 75 feet wide and 45 feet high, and the flood was going to destroy everything on earth, all living creatures on earth. And so he could only bring his wife and children and two of every animal, male and female, so that when the flood is over, they can reproduce and spread all over the world. And so he created this ark, and for 40 days and for 40 nights there was a big flood, and it rained every single day, and it went as high as it went 25 feet over the highest mountain at the time, and that shows how high. And it says in Genesis 7:22 that everything on earth that breathed died, and so every living being that died, the only living being on earth was Noah. And when the flood was over, he sent out all the two animals out of his boat to go reproduce and spread out all over the world. And because of Noah's great job, he promised the world a covenant that he would never destroy living things by a flood ever again. And he promises this by every single time it rains and the clouds or rainbow will always come over. There's also other theories that scientists have created, like intelligent design, which is systems by studying system compounds that determine the structures that come from chance, natural law, intellect, design, a combination of all of these. So just another way of natural selection. And there's also theistic evolution, which is a combination of creationism and modern day evolution put together, but this is considered to Christians that this is wrong because it has no scripture backup. And the intellect design is a scientific theory. But also throughout time, the backup for the Christian idea of creationism is that there are many gaps in evolution that are a major faults in the theory, which almost disband the whole theory in itself. And another backup is a majority of people in the world are religious, but a minority of people are called religious freaks. And so they don't fully understand the Bible, and they don't read the Bible, so they don't fully understand the creationism, the theory of creationism. And science works by a method. And so when a scientist comes up with a method, they gather research and they create a hypothesis and they perform experiments to prove that their method is right, but that doesn't technically mean that their method is correct in terms of the world and how everything is made. And also, scientists argue that creationism is wrong because they have because they don't have an experiment to back up. Because we don't have experiments to back up that creationism is true, we just have the Bible. But yet everything makes sense because people, because all matter of life, they say that matter of life comes from bacteria, but where did they get that bacteria? Where did all the matter of life come from? Matter of life didn't just come out of nowhere. God put the bacteria here, even if the evolution thing is true. God put the bacteria here. So I hope I've given you enough incentive to believe that the creationism belief is true. If not, you can choose between two things of creationism and evolution. Thank you.